Hey, I'm Graham.
Hi, Graham. Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the second team's presentation for Division B of the preliminary round of the 2017 Champions Trophy case competition. The team presenting now is, Team Marmite. On the judging panel today we have Rob McDonald, CFO from Air New Zealand, Daniel Love, Chief Operating Officer BDO, Katie Jacobs, General Manager Moet Hennessy New Zealand, and Fraser Scott, Chief Marketing Operations Officer at Microsoft New Zealand. The team will have 10 minutes to make their presentation, followed immediately by 10 minutes of questions and answers. When you have 2 minutes remaining, I will hold up the 2-minute sign. Similarly, when you have 1 minute remaining, I will hold up the 1-minute sign. You will be cut off exactly at 10 minutes. This will also occur during the question and answer session. Team Marmite, you may begin when you're ready.
Okay, good afternoon, Air New Zealand Board of Directors. Thank you for flying with us today. My name is Renee, and this is my lovely team, Luke, Nicole, and Graham. And together we are Marmite Consulting. Now, we know personally we've had a great experience on your airlines, and today we want to present to you a strategy to take your organization to the next level. Now, that would be addressing the problem that your organization is currently facing, and that is the increasingly competitive environment that you are working in currently. And the solution that we are proposing today is that of a unique travel offering for international travelers, utilizing the application that you already have set, as well as really enhancing the travel opportunities and offers that your consumers have to choose from. And the impact of this will be to increase the international share of those seats to 41%.
So let's jump into a quick industry analysis here. So we've developed 3 main regions that are very attractive right now. The first is Asia Pacific. So why would you want to enter this region? So currently 2/3 of the industry growth for the next 20 years is going to come from this region. It's a very attractive position. But it also is a very competitive market. There's a lot of well-established airlines there, more cheap end and very established, such as yourself. And for Americas, it's a prime location because a lot of stopovers come right over New Zealand, which puts New Zealand in a great position. But it's not as high growth of a region as Asia Pacific. And lastly, we looked at Europe. It's a good opportunity for increasing long-haul flights. We don't think the growth from this region is going to be substantial compared to the other two, and there's already a really strong developed airlines there with a ton of competition. So a key takeaway here is Asia Pacific and Americas are going to be the best growth opportunities moving forward. And now I want to introduce you to Tim the Traveler. So Tim the Traveler is a very basic, average traveler who uses your airlines. But just that he's average means Tim looks for certain things when he's booking his airline tickets. Number 1 is a fair price. He wants options. If he wants to go a little cheaper or a little more expensive to get that better experience, he wants that. Secondly, he wants a comfortable environment. He wants to be able to put his seat back, relax a little bit on that 10-hour flight he's taking. He also wants good customer service. If he gets a little thirsty, wants a pop or a beer, that's there for him, and he also has that choice as well. And lastly, he wants direct travel. He doesn't want weird layovers, that kind of wastes his time when he's traveling. So a key takeaway here for the customer we're targeting today is that they want autonomy and choice in the way they travel.
So now let's look at the scary part, the competitors, and exactly how you're going to differentiate yourselves from this group. So there's a lot of LCCs that are currently popping up in the area due to the low oil price, but there's one thing that makes you the top airline in the world. And we can easily say it's that you care about your customer more than any other organization or any other airline, truly. And this is done through the variety of flights that you offer, yourself as a full service airline, as well as the fact that you are experience focused. You're not solely about where you land, but the whole experience, from when you take off all the way to when they arrive into New Zealand to experience those services. And that's something we want to leverage because that truly is what makes Air New Zealand great.
Now, in summary, this analysis looks at the industry, the customer, and the competition that your organization is currently facing. And the industry takeaway is that Asia, Pacific, and Americas are the primary target that your organization really wants to work towards capturing entirely. The second is the customer, making sure that they have more control of their experience traveling, that it's very enjoyable, and that they're able to kind of navigate what they want to do with their experience. And finally, the competition. You're a very well-rounded, established organization, and you focus on the customer experience, and we encourage you to keep doing this at a heightened level. And the problem that we've identified today, in summary, is what opportunities can Air New Zealand capitalize on in order to remain the best airline in the world for that long haul?
So we did consider some different alternatives, such as having a different arm of your business. However, what we're proposing today is even better, and we find that what you can do is you can leverage a lot of the offerings and the competitive advantage that you currently hold through what we call the Kiwi crossover. And we'll walk you exactly through what the Kiwi crossover is and why it can be so lucrative for your business. So let's start with that first question. What is the Kiwi crossover? Well, the Kiwi crossover is a discounted flights passing through New Zealand. So exactly how this works, and we understand you already give discounts, is that it works through static prices for layovers over 2 weeks. So what this would work let's think about Tim, your average traveler. Tim wants to go on a vacation coming from the Asian Pacific all the way to Buenos Aires. But he could either take one airline going all the way to Buenos Aires from the Asian Pacific, or he could take a much cheaper offering offered by Air New Zealand through New Zealand, where he can have a layover for up to 2 weeks at a static price. And then on a week where he travels around New Zealand, enjoys New Zealand for everything that they have to offer, he can enjoy that same price, fly out of New Zealand, and head over to Buenos Aires. The only caveat for Tim is that he must leave through Air NZ.
So just as a visual demonstration, we think that the best travelers to target with this travel opportunity is customers coming from the Asia Pacific that will be taking that hike up to Machu Picchu and want to stop over in New Zealand and extend that vacation and explore another region since they're already traveling so far. We also think that there's an opportunity here to target North American customers and other customers from the Americas that are traveling to Australia that could also take a layover flight through New Zealand and experience your island as well.
So let's take a look at why and how this would be done. So why is this a good idea? Number one, it positions New Zealand as a passage for the Pacific. It's a great destination in those areas we entered that people can cross over to. But as well, it really promotes tourism in New Zealand. People come into New Zealand, they stay for 3 days, maybe they wouldn't do that before. They spend a lot more money into New Zealand, again, bolstering that New Zealand economy that's known for its tourism. But it's also a huge potential for cross-selling domestic flights. People could come in and stay for 3 days, check out Queenstown. That's a domestic flight they maybe wouldn't have booked if they're just passing through their final destination. And domestic flights, as we saw, currently have the highest margins too, which is way better for your business. So how are we going to do this? We're going to establish offerings with code share partners. So those partners you're currently with, we're going to partner with them to again get these people down to New Zealand and finally off to their destination. We're also going to establish relationships with Americas and Asian tourism, again, just to promote this and let them know that this actually is an option that they can do. And finally, we're going to communicate our strategy for different routes. So why do we pick these certain routes? Like, what's with that? Again, it goes back to that industry analysis. These are the two main high growth areas, and that's why we think we can get the most customers through that.
So let's look about how we're going to optimize the Kiwi crossover. What we found, the best way to do this is by optimizing through an add-on on your existing Air New Zealand application. Now, what will this add-on do through the Kiwi crossover application? Is that, again, it's an add-on to your existing NZ app, but you can input the dates for your layovers, so typical times, but let's say Tim would like to stay for an additional week in New Zealand. And what will happen, and the times for his additional flight leaving New Zealand as well. What will then happen is that the app will provide recommendations based off other tourist activities that can participate in New Zealand, as well as other domestic flights that are cheap through Air New Zealand to go to different parts of the country to experience different activities. This allows you to cross-sell and allows you to get a lot more revenue from Timothy.
Another key pillar to positioning Air New Zealand as a passage to the Pacific is to partner with social influencers and travel bloggers and sponsor trips to New Zealand so that they can communicate that New Zealand is a great place to stop over in addition to other vacations. And so we think the big why here is that you'll be able to reach those travelers very directly and we'll be able to target that geographically.
So we took a look at the financial impact of this and made some projections. So the main assumption being made is we're going to hit that 41% of the passenger share moving out and in from New Zealand, as well as an 8% increase from that cross-sell to domestic flights. And lastly, the 15% discount rate on those discounted flights that we're going to offer. So this will boost your 2018 profits, and through that 2018 to 2020, about a 9% growth rate.
And so a risk that we identified, and we did have another one that we can discuss in the Q&A, is that you aren't able to establish relationships with Tourism Brazil, for example. And so what we recommend you doing in that case is going to a more direct-to-consumer path in your promotional activities.
Now, what we presented to you today is a strategy to really oppose that increasing competitive environment. It's a solution that has unique offerings to your consumers to allow them that autonomy to have that full, well-rounded experience in New Zealand and with your airline. And the impact of this is that 41% in those the seat shares using the Kiwi crossover as the final solution. We thank you so much for being here today with us, and we now open the floor to any questions you may have.
At its heart, correct me if I'm wrong, through offering the Kiwi crossover, what you're saying is we're guaranteeing 2 Air New Zealand fares as opposed to potentially one return, which would be 2 Air New Zealand fares, but at a discount. Would that be, at its brutalist form, would that be what you're suggesting?
Yeah, at its brutalist form, you're definitely considering or insuring those 2 additional fares, but you also insure people might travel through New Zealand who might not have before as well.
You talked about in the camera, where did you get your data and analysis around what our customers are looking for?
So Tim the Traveler, we just thought, what do we look for when we're traveling? And it's just, again, that kind of, not basic, but just stuff they expect when they're paying $1,000 for a long flight, just to really decrease that stress level, because traveling is stressful. So we just thought of things that the average person would want to look for in a flight.
What's the compelling reason that people would travel to New Zealand on a trip that clearly you're going sideways and sideways again for a long period and then staying there for 2 weeks? What's the sort of, why would people do that?
So I think like one of the primary reasons, and one that you understand as well, is that New Zealand is one of the top travel destinations in the world. It's an incredible place to be, and I think people who are traveling abroad will understand that as well. And take it as an additional opportunity to see a different part of the world while they're on their way to their final destination.
Probably in a similar mindset with the kind of key idea. There are many reasons people travel, and going from A to C and coming to D is quite a small subset of the reasons why people come to New Zealand in a way. It's only if you're going through. Do you feel like, in a way, are you therefore limiting what the potential could be if you're looking for a kind of key growth strategy? Like, what's your why focus on what is quite a small area of the...
We find that like whether they're going through the Asia Pacific all the way to South America, or they're going to the Americas, or Australia from the Americas, there's quite a few people who will take advantage of this, and it's proven in other parts of the world as well, such as Iceland. Iceland has a similar strategy working through Europe, and it brings in hundreds of thousands of dollars for Air Iceland, and does so much like good work for them, being that middleman in that transaction. And a lot of customers will stay another week over there.
So Tim comes to New Zealand, he spends a week, maybe 2. How does Air New Zealand monetize what he's doing here?
Good question.
So there's 2 ways out of this. So Air New Zealand benefits, because we believe when people come to Air New Zealand, or come to New Zealand for that week-long stay, they're going to want to check out other spots within the country. They might get a domestic flight, which they might not have ever got before. But as well, it benefits New Zealand government, the major shareholder of your company, because they're going to come into the country, stay at a hotel, go out to the restaurants, just support the local economy. So it brings that tourism dollars in as well. So it benefits really both stakeholders here.
Thank you.
This strategy is really built around sort of marketing and consumer experience, which is great. What about other elements of our business, whether it be operations, pricing? Have you thought about how you deal with some of the issues that this might create?
So in regards to other portions of your business, so whether it's relationships that can be worked on ahead of time, actually, if you could just jump to the timeline, let's work with that.
Yeah,
That's a great way to say it. So just looking at the timeline, there's other considerations. We've allocated enough time to really work through a lot of these things. So the first of which is like just immediately, you can begin working with your code share partners and really just understanding where you can find a good price point in between so that you can really share the profits that are generated from both of these things, whether they're flying to Australia or like in regards to marketing and like bringing actual consumers in. We can do it through the New Zealand application that many people who have flown Air New Zealand with. You can actually, when you provide the add-on, you can provide advertisements and other sites that work well. So it really depends on what the operations area you'd like us to focus on, but we'd be happy to clarify any specific area that you're looking at or concerned about.
Just on the way this is structured, and I may have my assumption wrong, but largely, say for example, you go from China to Auckland, it's 2 weeks into North America. Are you assuming you'll get as many people going the other way that offsets, or are we just going to have empty seats going one way? Or are they going to fly back over Auckland again to get back to their destination?
Oh, I see what you're saying. So just in regards to like that return trip, so we find that leverages exactly what you guys do best, which is the customer experience. So with such a positive customer experience and that the ability to retain customers, we do find that people will take the choice to do the Kiwi crossover once again, back through regarding the price point and the incredible service that you already provide, giving you a really great advantage over these competitors who would normally be scooping up these people to begin with.
So, I mean, you mentioned code share partners as looking to work with them, but I just wonder whether with this, the range of destinations that Air New Zealand flies to, what you can any thoughts about that or any recommendations given the strategy?
Yeah, definitely. So one positive thing we find about this strategy that it's very scalable. So you could execute it for the first 2 years, see what the demand is like for these flights. And if there's huge demand, say, going to the US from Australia and that crossover, you could get another destination through there as well with some of the planes that you have on order. So again, yeah, it really depends on the kind of demand, but we think that down the road there will be increased demand and you can add other flights, in those key regions we've targeted.
If I'm understanding this, and when you talk about the share of seats, it sounds like what you're suggesting is very much around a share growth strategy. Did you consider focusing on a profit growth strategy instead?
So just regarding the profitability per seat, so like whether we're offering more profitable seats, or are you just considering just other
As an all-up strategy, you've gone with hey, let's lead with share growth versus hey, maybe profitability is the target we should be seeking at this time?
So just in regards to volume, like there's so much growth in the travel industry, especially coming from places like the Asian Pacific. Getting volume really will lead to that profitability that you are looking for. And it will allow you to position yourself in the future as someone who's getting that volume and getting that price point, but still allowing for that quality that Air New Zealand is used for. And we find that will lead to a lot of profit for your organization.
Long haul's about 10%-ish of our total passenger range, and this deals with predominantly long haul flights. So how do you reconcile how much impact it has if it's only looking really at 10 to 15% of business?
Yeah, so again, it is one of the smaller portions of the business, but kind of the main focus around this strategy is getting people to New Zealand and then them getting more domestic flights, which is kind of a bigger portion. So it's not really a huge growth for the long haul flights. In the long term, we think that could be a thing, but again, it's really driving that domestic flight growth.
Just for clarification, you talk about the word static price. Is that like a price per flight, or is it as much as you want to fly for a certain amount?
So yeah, that's exactly it. It would be a static price, so price per flight. So they would settle on a price for one flight and one flight out.
So because at the moment you can do this, yeah? So if you originate in Australia, you can fly via New Zealand to Houston. So you can do this strategy now if you want to, I think, even with one price per flight. what is the new element here? I mean, you talk about the app, is it the way you're marketing, or what is the new element that you are bringing, the idea?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think part of that customer experience is really when they go on a vacation, they're looking to really extend their kind of travel experience as much as possible, really exploring different areas. So having this stopover is actually a way to encourage that a little bit more. So stopping over and having that application to really showcase all of the opportunities. So looking at a trip, let's say you have 5 days in New Zealand and you want to visit Queenstown and maybe Wellington as well. So you would look at that application, see the flight breakdown, and see actually where you can go in that time to really maximize your travel experience when you're already investing in that travel in the first place.
I mean, if we are talking about holidaymakers, how do you reconcile that to the fact that people, particularly in the US and China, get a certain amount off of vacation a year, and this would add probably 2 days to their travel
That's
and
fine.
take them away?
Okay, thank you.
Very much, yeah.